Okay, so we can definitely say that the reason the Goddess Clan wanted to wipe out the Demon Clan in the first place is because they feel like they're better. They're on a higher level than the Demon Clan. On top of that, they most likely feel the exact same way as the other species. Fairies, giants, humans. They feel like they're on a higher tier than any other race in the Seven Deadly Sins. So, yeah, there's one thing we can say. This chapter definitely confirms that the whole reason for this holy war, in the first place, is thanks to the Goddess Clan being assholes. Like, being complete assholes. Like, there could be, peace between the species, but there won't be peace because the Archangels are pricks. They want to kill off the Demon Clan, which in turn causes, the issues with the Fairy Clan to the, Giants Clan, and then also the Human Clan. Now we understand. We now know why majority of the species have fallen off the grid in the recent present time of the Seven Deadly Sins. It just makes more sense now. Can we all just say that the Goddess Clan are a bunch of assholes? I mean, going out of their way to cause all these problems, doing what they've done throughout the entirety of the series. They've set up all of the shit that's happened in Taizai, thanks to them. And it's crazy when you think about it. Now we understand why they want to wipe out Meliodas. The reason why they want to kill Meliodas in the first place is because he's just a demon. It's not because he did something that was just something truly evil or anything like that. No. The reason why they want to kill Meliodas, why the Goddess Clan does in the present time, is because he's just a demon. And they think they're on a higher level than them. And I'm going to be honest here, the only reason why I think humanity is fine in Taizai is probably because humanity worships them. I mean, let's just think about this for a second, okay? I mean, these angels obviously think they're on a higher level. They stated it in the fucking chapter. Like, the dude says, like, oh, why, would we want to work with people that are pretty much, worms and shit, like they're excrement? Why would we care about them? Why would we want to have peace with them? There's just no point. And this lets us know he cares more about himself, or they care more about their species than other species, and also doing what they did to the fairy, clan's forest, what they did to that forest in general, just shows they don't care much about the fairies as well. They're willing to just slit the fairies' throat to make themselves better off, and that's what they're showing in this chapter. And so one of the big things we can, see from this is why maybe the previous Fairy King and the previous Giant King decided to join the Ten Commandments. It makes more sense now when you really take all these pieces we got in this chapter and put them together. I mean, think about it, okay? Why would you join the Demon Clan? I mean, you participated in wiping out the demons thousands of years ago. Why the fuck would you help them? Why would you join the Ten Commandments? Well, now we understand. The reason why, they joined in the first place was because, for one, the Goddess Clan are a bunch of assholes, and they tried to kill off the other species, not just the Demon Clan, but the other species as well. I mean, look at what they did to the forest in this chapter, to the Fairy Clan's forest. They fucking ruined it. So, with that happening, obviously, that's why, the previous Fairy King decided to join. But on top of that, now we know why, Valor as well, why he decided to join. Because most likely something very similar happened to him as well. So, yeah. Interesting stuff. I mean, the Goddess Clan being evil, it's something that all of us have speculated for a very long time. And now we can truly say that it's definitely majority of the problems that's happened, like the conflict in Taizai, is thanks to the Goddess Clan. I'm not saying everything, but majority of the conflict is thanks to what the Goddess Clan has done. And I just can't believe it. I just like, holy shit, the Goddess Clan, they're possibly the final villain. It might not even be the Demon King that is the final villain of the series. There's a high potential possibility for the Goddess Clan, the Archangels and stuff, being the final villain of Taizai. As we know, Nakaba Sensei let us know that there's going to be 3 major arcs of the series. We had the first big one with Hindi. The second arc was mainly focused around the Ten Commandments, and that arc I don't think is probably done completely yet, because I just don't think that's completely done at this time. So when we factor all of this in, we still have one major arc after this, and I could see Nakaba Sensei focusing the final arc on the Goddess Clan, taking them down. They're the main villain, not the Demon Clan, but it's actually the Goddess Clan, and it's just crazy. Now I understand. Now I understand why, Balor and them decided to join the Ten Commandments, why they're helping them out. And I mean, the Goddess Clan, yeah, they need to be whooped for what they fucking did to all the other species. Well, anyways, let's talk about that combo we saw with King and Grado. What we saw in that scene in this chapter was very surprising. We saw a very different person than we normally saw in the present time of Taizai. We have all seen Grado introduced, and how, you know, Grado was helping out King and also helping out Bond, and then eventually turned against Bond and all that. The personality of the advisor is completely different from the past of what we're seeing in this flashback. And even King himself, he is completely surprised. He's like, whoa, this is an entirely different person. Just the, you know, the aura around her is just completely different. And most likely the reason why she acts like she does and why she's so different in present time is thanks to what has happened to her brother, but also thanks to what, you know, the Goddess Clan did. The Goddess Clan, you know, just betraying the Fairy King, betraying the entirety of the fairy species, the, you know, the giant clan and everyone else. Now she knows the truth, and that's probably why she has changed so much over the many, many years she's been alive. So it makes sense now. It does make sense why she acts like she does, but it just adds a lot of clarification to her character. She is actually not the lover of the previous Fairy King, but in fact the little sister of the previous Fairy King. So, wow, that takes me by surprise. I thought, you know, they were going to be some form of lovers, but in fact, it wasn't like that. I mean, when we saw the little statue and stuff from, you know, the Fairy King and all that in that big tournament arc, I thought that was, you know, hinting at possible lovers. But now we know it's actually just his sister. He cares deeply for his sister, and that's why it's like that and why she cares about him. So, well done, Nakama-sensei. You surprised me with this chapter. You surprised me with, you know, the revelations to Grado and also the direction you're taking with the Goddess Clan, but also the motives behind the Goddess Clan, just feeling like they're high and mighty and that they're way better than, you know, everyone else. Oh yeah, one last thing before I forget. I want to point out at the end of the chapter when you see the panel of the Ten Commandments and the demons coming to where the actual bait was, the live bait, we see Fraudrin, a part of the Ten Commandments. So that lets us know at this point in time with the timeline, Gallagher has already left the Ten Commandments. He is no longer a part of the Ten Commandments at the time of this flashback. So something else has already happened before the, you know, Demon Clan fell apart. So we now have much needed clarification to where maybe Gallagher could possibly be at this time. Like, he's not there, so he's definitely doing something else right now, most likely with Merlin. So I'm curious. I'm very curious what Gallagher is doing in this point in time, because if he's not a part of the Ten Commandments, where else could he possibly be? One last thing, too, I do want to mention before I end this video. Also, apparently, there's another group of demons that are apparently as strong as the Ten Commandments and maybe even stronger. So, we'll see where that goes. Eventually, they'll probably be introduced to the series, most likely in the upcoming arc. But anyways, you all have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.